What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the What the Fun Show. My name is Mike, and today we are discussing Hocus Pocus, the original 1993 movie, in anticipation of the sequel coming to Disney Plus on September 30th. So when you're listening to this, it will be the day before the sequel arrives. So listen to our review, go watch the original on Disney Plus, go watch the sequel on Disney Plus. Hey, it's a lot of good content for you to consume. Well, like I said, my name is Mike, and I'm with Joe and Justin. Justin, we're going to go your way first. Hocus Pocus. This was your suggestion for content. You excited?
Dead Man's Toes. I love it. I can't wait to talk about this story. It takes me back. Every time I watch it, it holds up. It is a classic scary film for kids. With some exceptions, obviously, but for the most part, it is a great story, and it holds up very well. And obviously, they're bringing a sequel. And little known fact: the Sanderson sisters, the actresses, are working towards a third film already. So let's keep it going.
It's a little known fact.
Little known fact. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Joe, first of all, did you know about that little known fact? Secondly, Hocus Pocus, you excited?
I had no idea. As you know, I'm a spoiler-free individual. So I know nothing about the second one either, except for it comes out on September 30th, apparently.
Sorry to spoil that for you.
And I think it has the same actresses. No, it does. I know that they came back for it. But I don't know anything about the movie, so we'll see. I liked Hocus Pocus. I liked it the first time I saw it, although I was probably a little bit young. I was probably like 7 or 8. And I've liked it every time since then. It's a very good film. I know that not everybody would consider it a family-friendly film, but I think kids can watch it. So that my hot take on it.
Okay.
Magica
All
Mystica.
right. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, thank you so much. Please leave us a review on any podcatcher of choice that you are using. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and comment down below what you think of Hocus Pocus. And if you're listening to us now, we have a bunch of episodes of a bunch of things. We have Rings of Power episode 5 review. We have the original Halloween review with Halloween 2018 review coming out next week as of this release here. So much content to consume. Joe, since you kind of were going into that spoiler-free territory, why don't you continue? What's your spoiler-free review of Hocus Pocus?
All right, we've got witches, we've got vacuums, we've got kids and candy. Is it Halloween? Absolutely. Why wouldn't it be? It's Hocus Pocus. We're a Halloween film. If you like Halloween, witches, candy, trick-or-treating, partying, and a little bit of danger, I think you'll love Hocus Pocus.
Hey, Justin.
I smell children. I can't wait for all of the quotable quotes from this movie. They really went all in, and then the musical number as well later. I can't wait to talk about that. They did such a good job with drawing you into Halloween, the night of Halloween, with kids walking around in costumes and real danger right next to them, and they don't even know it. Very well done. Draws you into the 90s Halloween-esque environment that you would have going out when it was nice out and it wasn't snowing or raining. And it really just did it. It did it for you. It really puts you in that position of this could happen to you with a little bit of supernatural elements. Very well done. Great acting all the way through.
So a little bit of inside baseball. When we were creating our content outline and talking about doing Hocus Pocus, Justin very confidently said, "Oh yeah, Caleb would love this. Like, throw this on for your kids. Watch it with him." And I was like, no, not right now. I need to watch it first because I had never seen it. This is the first time that I had seen it. So I know, blown minds. And after watching it, I will not let my son watch this for a long time. This movie it might have been made by Disney. It might have been family friendly oriented, but man, is it not? Yeah, but regardless of that. So I thought that was funny that Justin thought that, but no, I've decided no. Anyway, but regardless of that, I really liked the movie. It was a fun time. It does remind me of those like silly, like Ernest Scared Stupid, that those type of movies, like, silly
also
fun
90s films.
Halloween. Yeah, so just really good fun, good acting as well. There are the three witches in particular, the sisters, they are the best parts of this movie. I think that the main protagonists, like the teenagers, they did a formidable job as teenage actors. So yeah, fun time. I think this is a good movie. I don't think I would show it to my kids for a while, so we'll see. But anyway, let's get into our spoiler territory. So if you have not seen Hocus Pocus, please pause the podcast. Consider this your official spoiler warning. Hey, you.
What's that? What the?
What are you doing?
Who, me?
Do you want to be spoiled? No? Well then.
Stop it. Get some help.
So you don't feel like this guy. Instead, let it be a surprise.
Oh, I like surprises.
So go watch the thing before you move on in the podcast, okay?
Alrighty then.
Okay, that was our spoiler warning. So, Justin, this was directed by Kenny Ortega. Box office of 45.4 million, which is a profit of about 20 million. So it did well for itself. It for a Halloween movie, it came out in July.
Yeah.
And Justin, this starts off on October 31st, 1693 in Salem, Massachusetts. Thackeray Binks witnesses his little sister Emily being whisked away to the woods by the Sanderson sisters, three witches named Winifred, Sarah, and Mary.
Yes, you do get a signature song sung by Sarah Jessica Parker of Come Little Children, I'll Take You Away over the background here. And that does play a prominent role later on as well. But it does kind of like show you the power they have just with voice alone, casting a spell to draw children in. Very well done. Definitely looks aged at this in this scene because it is set, back in old school time period in Massachusetts. So you've got these characters that you only see for a short while here in this scene. Thackeray Binks, you see him as a human, spoilers, at this point. And he really wants to protect his sister, Emily. And that's really what it is,
Joe, the Sanderson sisters, like creepy witches in the woods taking away children.
It was a good introduction. I enjoyed it. I think that they're supposed to look the way they do, which they look a bit haggard when we first meet them, because they're getting older, they're aging, and they need to, they need to get young again. And we'll get into how they do that in a minute. So their teeth are a little rotty and yellow. It's 1600s, so obviously not the best dental hygiene around. Maybe not the best hygiene in general. The makeup is questionable, especially Winifred. Got these funky lipstick thing that makes her mouth look super narrow, and these giant buck teeth. But they're witches, right? They're not supposed to be like beautiful, gorgeous things. They're supposed to be creepy and crooked noses and warts and tall hats and things like that. And they're not quite that either, but they do a good mix.
Yeah. It's a good introduction to them. I think that, as you were hinting, Thackeray confronts the witches, but fails to save Emily, and her life force is drained, making the witches young again. So this is the through line. This is the plot throughout the whole movie. The Sanderson sisters are trying to survive, and the way that they do that is they murder young children, and they take their life force.
They drain their life force. This isn't murder.
Yeah,
this is a kids' film.
It's taking their it's taking their
this is a kids'
age.
film.
It's basically like taking their years away from them, so they don't have time to live them, and they're stealing them.
Yes.
That's completely family
they
friendly.
die.
And they,
Off screen.
well, in the end, yeah.
Off screen. Justin, you're funny.
Even the dead rises in this. So
Yeah.
Spoilers.
I'm gonna I'm going to let you know that I'm going to be talking about a lot of the unfamily friendliness, but I still think that this is a fun movie. So just bear with me. It will make for some hopefully good laughter.
if any of our fans agree, go watch Halloween Town with your kids. It's also family friendly, and that's also on Disney Plus. So Halloween Town, not as good, but still holds the same weight, I guess.
I would agree with that. I don't think Halloween Town is as good as this. But yeah, we'll move on. So after that, Thackeray is transformed into a black cat by the witches, and that's why Justin said he wasn't human for long. So he was cursed to live forever with his guilt for not saving Emily. So Thackeray is this black cat. The curse is that he will live forever, in this black cat form. So after discovering the children missing, the townsfolk arrest the sisters and sentence them to be hanged for the murder of Thackeray and Emily. And the sisters didn't really put up a fight. They were just like, yeah, sure.
They're witches.
They're witches. They definitely put up fight later on. But for this way, they knew that there was a way out. And they had that in their plan by calling for their book, which we haven't spoken about.
Yeah.
Book.
Yeah, take us into that, Justin.
Yeah, it's basically a spell book with an eye on the cover that looks around, which is kind of creepy, but also family friendly. And they cast a spell while having nooses around their neck, also family friendly. And it basically
proving my point.
Yes.
It just keeps them when a virgin, also family friendly, lights the black flame.
Obviously, no family there.
Yeah, lights the black flame candle, which is a candle inside of their spell.
Can we quote that? That was so funny, Joe.
So they have to light this. Eventually, when a virgin lights the black flame candle, they will rise again and come back. And at this exact moment, Binks or Thackeray Binks is kind of like all around the townsfolk, and they're like, "Move away, foul beast," because black cats are known for witches and scary stuff, family friendly stuff. So they end up, all you see is feet moving and swaying, which is totally family friendly. You don't see the death. And then
I agree.
And then then it kind of moves forward. As well as Thackeray Binks decides he's going to guard the cottage to make sure that no one comes in.
Yes. So his goal is to keep these witches dead. And so that's what he does. Asleep, family friendly. Sorry. So he does, guard that cottage, making sure that a virgin doesn't light the black candle again. But 3 centuries later, on Halloween, October 31st, 1993, Max Dennison reluctantly takes his younger sister Danny out trick-or-treating, where they meet Max's new crush, Allison. The three visit the former Sanderson cottage, now a museum, where Max inadvertently resurrects the witches. I don't know if he inadvertently did that. He straight up,
this will never happen. What a joke. Watch me light this candle.
This outline kind of jumped over it, but it did start in class with Max, and they were talking about Halloween, and this really shows how he believes Halloween was created by the candy companies to make more money, obviously. But he doesn't believe in the hocus pocus. He doesn't believe in the magic and the spook stuff of Halloween. So this is going to be a turning point for him as a character later on, which it kind of left out. But yes, he goes to meet Max's new bongo, Allison.
Crush. Yeah. Anyway, so the witches do attempt to suck the soul of Danny because they were resurrected, but Max does come to her rescue. Escaping Max steals Winifred's spell book on advice from the immortal cat Binks. So Binks does show up, and I think Binks is like the second best thing about this whole movie.
He can talk.
Yeah, he could talk. He slaps Max, saying, "You stupid." He's just like, "Why did you do this?
Family
Why were you
words.
a virgin?"
Yeah, no.
I don't remember those words.
Yeah, so he takes the spell book, and at this time, Max set off because this cottage is obviously a museum now. It did have fire like alarms and fire water like dispensers. So he went up with fire in his hand with a lighter and scared the Sanderson sisters, thinking he was a warlock, creating fire out of his hand. Lights the spigot, and then all of a sudden water just pours down, and he's like acid rain, and they all cower underneath the overhang. And he is able to grab the spell book and get out. As Winifred is just like, book, no! Like, she can't do anything because she's scared.
Yeah, and, I think that's one thing that they did really well, and Joe, maybe you could expound on this, is that, they played into the fact that the Sanderson sisters know nothing about technology and nothing about 1993.
Oh, yeah, they thought it was magic. They were certain that this kid was a powerful warlock who could create fire in his hands, who could make acid rain, who could do this. I mean, you see it. The acting sells it, right? But you see it in the way they respond to what he does. That, oh no, like, oh my gosh, what he's doing this, and oh no, acid. We need to find cover. Like, they do a wonderful job. Just showing that they have no idea what's going on. It's been 300 years. They've been sleeping in the ground. All of a sudden, they're back. They have mortal bodies once again, and they know nothing. By electricity, that's new. Sprinkler systems, totally new. Lighters, new. TV, new. Radio, new. Bikes,
Cars.
new. Cars, buses. All of these things. Totally
the
new.
bus scene was the best. It was so good.
Completely family
Very
friendly.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very family friendly.
They were just looking for children.
So the witches eventually catch up to them after they go to a cemetery, because Binks brought them to this hallowed ground, which is the cemetery, and the witches can't go on it. Winifred does end up raising her unfaithful lover of Billy Butcherson, family friendly lover, from the grave, and sends them after the children. We'll find out a little bit more about his character in a bit.
Yeah, this
He's
is
a cab driver in Halloween Town, right?
What'd you say?
He's the cab driver in Halloween Town. Billy
oh, you're right.
Cab driver.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say this scene in the cemetery and this little like nod to we can't set foot here does play a role later on. So you will see that come back, and this exact set will come back as well towards the end.
Yes, exactly. So the witches pursue the children across town using Mary's enhanced sense of smell. Okay.
Yeah.
She can smell children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I smell children.
Winifred reveals that the spell that brought them back only works on Halloween, and unless they can suck the life out of at least one child, they will turn to dust when the sun rises. So that's their motive. There's angst to it. There's eagerness to it. They need to murder children. So
Steal life force.
No.
I thought we talked about this.
Make them fall asleep. Yeah.
They need to get the life force from these children.
Oh, look at them. They're all
thing.
tuckered out.
Exactly what I'm going at. They were sleeping. Okay.
Oh, he's just taking a nap. Okay.
Wait, Batman's in this?
No, bad.
Yes.
Bad man.
Oh, okay.
Justin, I hope you don't feel bad that I'm making fun of the movie.
No,
I know this is one of your favorites, but
this is
fun.
For my childhood, this was family friendly, and I was perfectly fine with it. Jurassic Park is family friendly for Joe. Harry Potter is friendly for me as well. Like, it's a roll of the dice. What you are okay with showing your children. There's not like terrible things in this. It is old school family friendly for Disney, and that holds up for me.
I would agree. All right. So after luring them to the high school, the children trap the witches in a pottery kiln and burn them alive. While the children are celebrating, the witch's curse revives them again. Yeah. How does that happen again? Like they just
that's in the furnace. So they are trapped with this. Max puts on a recording and basically intercoms it to the furnace in the school. And at this time, like the Sanderson sisters hear it and they're in the school. They go into the kiln and then get burned alive, pretty much. And then you see the green smoke come out, and then come back because they were only sleeping, and they're back family friendly.
Yeah. They're only sleeping. Family friendly.
Matt
took it out.
Yeah.
So Joe, not realizing the witches have survived, Max and Allison get comfy on Max's bed. They open the spell book, hoping to reverse
just trying
the
to
spell
read.
on Binks.
Yeah, they
There's
need.
nothing weird
and
about
they took a
reading
nap
together.
too. They took a nap too, a family-friendly nap.
There was only one like lamp in the room. They needed to share it to read the book, and then they obviously were tired. They've been through a lot, so they took a nap. That's
They
perfectly
were
fine.
all tuckered out.
Yeah,
No, different. They weren't tuckered out. They were tired.
yeah.
So Joe, they try to reverse the spell on Binks, and the spell book reveals the location of the group, and the witches track them down.
Yeah.
Yep, doesn't work. Shocking, right? Who would have ever guessed that in this 90s film,
This powerful warlock.
what they try and do, it totally backfires. It's perfect, right? You think that there's gonna be this awesome thing, and Thackeray McGee is gonna be back, and he's gonna be human, although he probably die. Yeah, and that's for the NCIS watchers.
He gets
You're
tuckered
welcome.
out. Stop.
Yeah, sorry. He's very old, young-ish, 1,400 years old. But yeah, it doesn't work. Their location is revealed, and bam, we're on the run again, right? Because we need that tension. We need the oh no, what next? And the movie faithfully delivers.
Yeah.
So Justin, they end up kidnapping Danny and Binks, and they do recover the spell book.
Yeah. This was really interesting. As soon as they opened that spell book, the lamp wasn't the only light in the room at that point, because it created a spotlight straight through the top of the steeple, or the top of their house, which is a beautiful home. And the Sanderson sisters obviously could see that from a distance. So they were able to pinpoint exactly where their spellbook was. So they steal those two things. They get Binks and they get Danny, as Danny is going to be the first in that ritual that they're going to start. And this really starts the Sarah Jessica Parker scene of her singing, flying a broomstick. Very well done broomstick flying compared to other films. I think it was pretty decent. And she does a song to lure in children.
What other broomstick films are you comparing this to? I'm
Harry
curious.
Potter. I think Harry Potter's broomstick flying is not that great. Joe agrees?
I'd have to agree.
Okay.
It's very bad.
Why? Because it's all CG?
Poorly done CG, yeah.
Yeah.
They look like rubbery wet noodles as they're slinging around on their firebolts and stuff. It's not good.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, but at this time it wasn't. But at this time it wasn't compared to Harry Potter, right? So like Wizard of Oz.
So you're saying that this came out before
93?
Harry Potter, and Harry Potter still did a terrible job. That's just making it sound worse. Back to the story though. This song basically makes children walk as zombies to the cottage. Basically luring them in without any will.
Do you know what this reminded me of, Justin? Oh my goodness, Joe, you took the words out of my mouth. Another 90s movie, Ivan Ooze and his ooze that brings all the parents to him to
it's the exact
basically be murdered.
No, they're getting tuckered out.
Be tuckered out down a cliff in the Power Rangers movie. Yeah, but so Justin, yeah, you're right. They do try to bring all the children to the Sanderson cottage, but Max and Allison free Danny and Binks by tricking the witches into believing that sunrise was an hour early. So here's another one of those things where they use technology, Justin, to make them believe that there's real warlocks in this world now.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy the takes on the Sanderson sisters. Now, coming into the future, they will know what's going on because obviously they're back again and they've dealt with technology. I'm sure not to the extreme as it is now, like cell phones and stuff, but I feel like they won't be able to play on that trope a little bit as much. And that's going to make it.
So you're talking about the second movie?
Yes,
okay.
I'm talking about the second. For this one, they did it so well to put on the high beams and point the Jeep towards the house to make it think like the sunrise was coming. I thought it was really well done. Now, this outline skipped over the entire party scene with the adults at Town Hall.
Yeah, another family-friendly party.
Yeah, everyone was dancing and having a good time, drinking punch, family-friendly punch, and music was playing, and the Sanderson systems chased Danny, Max, and Allison there, and ended up getting on stage and doing a performance of "I Put a Spell on You," which basically made which they actually sang and choreographed, danced, everything. It was great, and it put a spell on all the adults to dance until they fell asleep or got all tuckered out. So I feel like that was really cool because
this was just straight tired, not tuckered out.
Yeah, I don't know. Dance until you fall asleep. So like, I feel like this was a great way of adding weight to the story of the kids are the only thing that's available to help right now. You can't go to the parents. You can't go to the authorities. Everyone else is basically incapacitated, and you can't get to them to help. So this is all on you guys to solve this problem that you foolishly lit that candle about.
Agreed. So, thinking that they are done for after the high beams go into their cottage, the witches panic and pass out. This was a funny scene. I just love how they played it. Just like, oh, I'm melting, that type of thing, but just extremely dramatic.
Yeah.
And it was super funny. They allow Max, Danny, Allison, and Binks to escape. So, now, also something that this sort of goes over, the outline does, is that Billy Butcherson, the mummified, zombified, Frankenstein type being there, is chasing the kids and Binks this whole time. And so now that they are back at the cemetery, they thought that Billy was trying to actually catch them for the witches. But Billy catches up to the children and takes Max's knife and cuts his stitched mouth open and insults Winifred before joining the children against the witches.
Family-friendly insulting.
Was a clever... Yes, family... Very, very. I thought this was a clever sort of twist there, Joe.
Yeah. It was not foreseen, for sure. The entire time you're worried, and they do a good job of making it seem like he is working with the witches, right? The whole time that you see him, like, you are convinced this is a bad dude. Like, they brought him back from the dead. He is a zombie corpse thing chasing after children. How could he not be bad? And after all of this kind of weighty, tensiony moments, you have this moment of levity where it's funny. He cuts his mouth open and he's like, insult witch. And then like, I'm going to help the kids. And you're like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's believable. It's fun. It was a fun twist.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Justin,
that's exactly when Winifred kicks his head off as well. Which is comical. It's not like there's blood or guts or anything. And Danny's the one that actually helps him find his head because it's rolling around on the ground. Puts it back on and he's good to go.
They had done that bit at the beginning of the movie too, when he was first resurrected, his head falls off, and then I think Winifred's like, find your head, and then he does, right? I think that was the case, or maybe the head was off in the I thought there was multiple times where the head comes off, but I could be mistaken. Justin, you know it better than me. You want to fact check me?
This is family friendly.
Okay.
Definitely a family friendly movie. I like the fact of him cutting his mouth open or the stitches, and then you saw like moths and a bunch of stuff come out, which was really added to the depth of this character being underground for a while. But obviously they can't touch the ground.
Yes. So that's exactly where I was going. This does go back into your praise for the broom flying, because the witches do attack from the air because they're in the cemetery. It's hallowed ground. So they are riding broomsticks, except one is riding a vacuum.
No, it's one broomstick, a mop, and a vacuum.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes. I'll consider the mop a broomstick. But still, that vacuum... Close. That vacuum was really funny. I thought it was a good touch, sort of again, like utilizing the modern technology to make funny comedy. So Winifred attempts to use the last vial of potion to suck the soul from Danny. Binks knocks the potion out of her hand, which Max catches, and Max promptly drinks, forcing the witches to take him instead of Danny. So Max, a very sacrificial white knight sort of character here. And this is some decent character development in a 1993 Walt Disney movie that's somewhat family friendly for a little kid who did not like Halloween at the start of the movie. Right, Justin?
Yeah, this is definitely good. I think that Max and Winnie would have done the same thing. Or not Max and Winnie. Binks and Winnie would have done the same thing. I think Winnie's the... Right. No,
Winnie's
Emily.
one of the witches.
Emily. Binks and Emily would have done the same thing. I think that if Binks had the opportunity, he would have definitely given his own life to help Emily at the beginning of the film. Yeah. But he just came a little late.
Exactly. He did.
I concur. Character development in this family-friendly 90s film. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, the sun does start to rise just as Winifred is about to finish draining Max's life force. In the ensuing struggle, Allison, Danny, and Billy fend off Mary and Sarah. And Joe, I kind of like how they did this, you know, how they got the sun to rise in this set, because this is obviously in, you know, it's not
it wasn't being filmed in an actual cemetery.
No. So but what they did was a very family-friendly sunrise in this Hollywood production studio.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
Am I supposed to add to that? It was
all right,
good.
Fine. I'll go to the person who likes cinematography. Justin, I thought this was a cool touch, adding the sunrise and all of this.
Yeah, for a Hollywood set, it was very...
I was just going to stop.
It was very family-friendly, and they did a good job.
Yeah.
So... and also the way that they fend off Mary and Sarah with like the vacuum cleaner holding the cable, the power cable and just holding her down. It was great. It really like it modernized the technology again, that they just didn't know where that was there. Obviously it was great. I think that a lot of the action here was well done. The flight was well done. To make not only broomsticks look okay, but also a mop and vacuum cleaner to make it look like a flying mechanism. Well done.
Yeah, it was really fun. So, Joe, the sun does finish rising in the horizon. Winifred does drop down to the hallowed ground and turns into stone. Mary and Sarah, because of the sun, are disintegrated into dust along with Winifred's stone body. Joe, the witches are dead.
No.
Sorry, the witches are
all tuckered out.
Yeah, they have another plan. Okay.
Yeah, they set a plan in motion because we know there's a second film, which means they're not gone forever.
Yeah, they're asleep.
Although we thought they were.
Yeah.
They're just
to be
asleep
fair,
right now.
it's been almost 30 years. So like we thought that they were gone forever. Little did we know.
Yes.
Many suspected that they would come back. We just didn't realize it would be so much later that they would come back.
Yeah. So yeah, the witch's deaths break Thackeray's curse, allowing him to finally die, finally tucker out, and freeing his soul, which reunites him with Emily as they both head off into the afterlife, while Billy returns to his grave to sleep. And as the movie closed, Winifred's spellbook opens its eyes once more, revealing that it is still alive, which means the witches could possibly return again someday. Spoiler alert, they are tomorrow as of this release.
They're finally coming back.
To be fair, the original set was in October 31st, 1693, and then 3 centuries later they came back. So this is a huge exponential growth of when they're coming back again. So it hasn't technically been that long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because they, despite them having 300 years of no technology, they took this one night. They didn't show you the scene. The scene wasn't in the movie, but they studied a little bit of technology to sort of, advance their time frame for coming back. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many virgins will it take in the second one? 3? One for each.
I don't know how much.
We're
How
gonna
many?
move on.
I don't know how
I
many
plead the
family
fifth.
friendly versions it's gonna take. I don't know.
we're gonna move on. So Justin, again, this was your choice for content, and to be fair, I really enjoyed my time watching this. I think it is a fun movie to visit. Again, I wouldn't show it to my kids, but you know that's something of every parent's discretion. I still think it's a fun, good movie. And so Justin, out of 5, 5 being amazing, 4 being great, 3 being good, 2 being bad, or no, okay, and 1 being just bad.
So if you like scary stuff, if you like kids and Halloween, if you like death and stabbing and you know, lots of things that are great for scary films, but also keeping it all family friendly, I would give this a number 5. Keep it in your back pocket every year. It is one of the, just like you have Christmas movies, this is one of your Halloween movies. That's why they air it every year on cable. I know a lot of people don't have cable, but if you do, it is on there. And it's one of those movies that you just watch during that season because it sets the tone for the season change. Like Harfoots do in The Hobbit, this is a movie that does it for us.
In The Hobbit?
Okay.
In Rings
the
of
Rings of
Power.
Power. Yes.
Yeah. Joe, out of 5,
I'm going.
what are you giving this?
I'm giving it a 4. This is a great movie. I think that if this is what you're like looking for as far as a family-friendly Halloween content 90s film, for what it is, maybe it's a 5. Honestly, it is so good. It is a bit dated, only in the sense that it came out a while ago. Other than that, I think it works, right? The technology has changed since it came out, but to go from 1600s to the 90s was unbelievable. I mean, they did such a good job for what it is. I think this is an amazing movie. I would give a 4 overall for what it is as a Disney film, a 5.
Okay. So I have no nostalgia for this movie. So I didn't ever watch it until this year, you know, a couple weeks ago. So for that, I'm going to give it a very high 3. So like it's borderline great for me, but I still think it's just in the good category. It is fun. It is good, good nostalgic fun, I feel, for a lot of folks. But it doesn't hit for me where nostalgia kind of needs to bring up that number a little bit. Cause I think nostalgia does bring that number up because as you were saying, Joe, it is a 90s film. It does what it needs to do in a very good way. And so that's why I just think it's a very high 3, a good. It's a very good.
I think we'll call it a great then.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm still calling it a 3. What is it? 2 goods make a great?
You said good.
No. So I'm going with a 3. I do, however, think that I think Disney does a really good job at revitalizing certain, you know, franchises. So I do think that they'll do a decent job with the second one. So I'm hoping that second one goes to the great, even awesome, especially with the 3 main actresses coming back, you know, which is really awesome to see. So, well, let us know down in the comments what you thought of Hocus Pocus. Tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. That's okay. This was, I loved this episode, guys. Like that was such a fun time recording with you guys. Good playing off each other. Really good time. So leave us a review. Leave us a comment down below. Oh man, let us know how we're doing with all this spooky season stuff. Stay tuned for our review of Hocus Pocus 2, which will come out next week, I believe, as of this recording, as of this release, as well as some other spooky stuff, including our continuation of the Halloween series, the new continuity. So Halloween 2018 coming next. For Mike, I'm Mike. That's Joe. That's Justin Joe too, but more so Justin.
Amok.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
I suggest we form a calming circle.